Mayad nga agahon, coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan, in Western Visayas in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of coffee, my coffee with Gino cup here, my Copico Blanca. Copico Blanca is my choice of a 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. Coffee, cream, and sugar, all powder form, all in this sachet. Put it in your cup, put a hot water, and you got a nice cup of coffee. Let me just make sure I'm online here. Let's see. All right. Looks like I'm online. All right. Hello. Good morning, Michael in Masbate Island, the thriving expat. Kevin Shores, good morning, Gino. Hey, good morning, Kevin Shores. Just getting the day started here. Let me just look at that. All right. I just took Leanna to school. I just got home, so getting this live stream going and start my day. Charlie, hey, Charlie Latz, my good friend in Boston, Good morning, Charlie Latz. Hey, Simon, good morning. Boss, I don't know about boss, man. Dazzle's the boss. That's what, even my friends here, they know Dazzle is the boss. I'm not the boss, Simon. Same one I like. Oh, all right. I got even the colonel's drinking Copico Blanca, and many people now, like Dean in Australia, my friend in Iloilo City. I guess it worked. That I influence people from trying the Copico Blanca and everyone. I don't get paid by Copico Blanca or anything. I don't have an endorsement with them or anything. I just like it. I've tried many 3-in-1 coffee here, and this is the taste that I like, the Copico Blanca. Hi Simon, hi Charlie. Tuning in. Wow. Oh, all right. Hey, I understand, man. Crashing. All right. No worries, Simon. Lowell, kumusta? Mabuti ako, Simon. Mabuhay. God bless, my brother. Hi, Kevin. Hello, Dazzle. For Nick. Hey, Mr. Mike. Yo, Tim. Yo. Good morning, Tim. My good friend, my brother in Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Hey, my shirt, the Thunderbirds, they're in Las Vegas at Nellis Air Force Base. I got this shirt from my good friend, Steve. He lives in Las Vegas. He's got a house here in New Washington, Aklan. Yeah, he splits time between Las Vegas and New Washington, Aklan. He'll be here soon. I think April or May, he'll be back here in the Philippines again. I saw your new video today. All right, Kevin Shores, the road trip, heading back. We were coming from Rojas City, heading back to Aklan. We like doing that. It's like there's people that enjoy those kind of videos where I'm driving, Dazzle's just co-piloting in the front, and we show you like the drive, and then we just talk to each other, basically, because the scenery, right? The scenery is a lot different from when I was in Tucson, Arizona, driving around Arizona. Arizona is so brown, desert. Here, everything's so green, lots of coconut trees, lots of banana trees, just a different scenery, a scenery that in a tropical island, it's like you don't see many of that in the United States. I know, like, coconuts and banana trees, you just don't see that. Driving. Hi, Lowell from driving. Charlie, morning, Lowell and Kevin. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Michael. Kevin Shores. JP. Hey, good morning, JP. Thriving. Charlie CEO. Good morning, JP. Yesterday, I was going to share this with everyone. Edgar had gotten his ACR card already, the alien registration card, certificate of registration. the first ID card really for Edgar. That's a Philippine government issue ID. So he attempted to get a bank account at RCBC, and that's the bank in Calibo that people, expats that come here, they've been having luck with RCBC opening an account. The one on Rojas Avenue towards the bridge. And everything was going good. Everything, like they were opening his account and everything. It got down to the signature. Edgar's signature on his passport. I guess his passport's been a few years that he got his passport. I guess Edgar's been, he does a lot of signature on his last job in the U.S. that he just scribbles his signature, kind of like a doctor. You know how doctors sometimes, they'll just scribble their signatures. Not really it don't look like a signature. Well, here in the Philippines, when you're opening at a bank account here, they're gonna make you sign a signature card here. They'll make you sign at least three signatures on the signature card. So you'll sign your name on the signature card. The problem Edgar ran into, he couldn't replicate the signature on his passport, and that was the signature that he was showing them. Probably would have been better off if he showed them his ACR card, how he signed his ACR card, because he couldn't replicate the signature on his passport, and they denied him the opening the account because of the signature card. So there's always something like that. That's new to me. I've never heard anybody that's gotten denied of opening a bank account based on the signature alone. Because Edgar even messaged me and showed me the signature on his passport, and the signature, I can tell it doesn't look the same. So they denied him opening an account. But I think Edgar had mentioned to me BDO Banco de Oro in Calibo was willing to open an account for him, but he had to wait 6 months residency here in Calibo. They just got different rules like that. The banks here in the Philippines, they do not operate like the banks in the United States. Like if you get a Wells Fargo account or you get a Bank of America, it doesn't matter if you're in California, in Arizona, they're all attached to each other. You can access your bank account in all different states, and here each bank operates as a separate entity. Even a Banco de Oro in Calibo, a Banco de Oro in Boracay, they operate. It's kind of like a franchise, I guess. They do not operate the same ways. They will have different rules at each bank. That's why, the expats that I've known here, they've had luck opening a bank account at RCBC. But now I guess Edgar's gonna have to wait, I guess, for Banco de Oro 6 months from now. I don't know what Edgar's next move will be. Or maybe try another bank. That's the only way you find out. It's like, there's several banks here. You got BPI, Banco de Oro, Metro Bank. There's so many banks here. It's just like, I'm sure it'll be random that, oh yeah, no problem. You'll go to a bank and they'll go, oh, no problem. I'll probably suggest to Edgar maybe Security Bank, because I know they're a little loose or a little lenient with the rules with the Security Bank in Calibo. So it's just a matter of finding the bank that will let you open an account with them. But that was new to me. I've never heard of anybody not being able to open the account just based on the signature, because the signature on the signature card, the 3 signatures they make you sign doesn't match the ID. So there's always something. There's always something like that here, unfortunately. Howdy Gino, sponsors, incoming sponsors. No. I've never gotten a sponsor, man. I've never gotten a sponsor, Ellen. Lowell, morning GP. Hi GP. Hello Lowell. Hey, Peanut Butter Travels is here. All right, thank you for joining the live stream. Daniel, good morning Dazzle. Again, all right. Morning GP. We're at Kumon today. All right, Tim. Leanna's at school today. So back to school yesterday, back to everything normal, back to the schedule. Raining this morning, light rain this morning, cloudy skies, no sunrise this morning. I'm not talking about the weather. Looking at the windy app, Nothing. I do not see a low pressure area, no storm, no typhoon of any kind. So I guess it's just typical rainy day in pretty much the entire Philippines. It's since the new year, since January the 1st, it seems like this is the weather we've been having here. But I'm not worried because like only a matter of time till all of a sudden it'll get sunny and then we'll have so many sunny days ahead of us. The one thing here, even if it rains, even if it's cloudy like this, it's still warm. Yeah, I mean, today it's still probably in the 80s right now. It's not even, I'm wearing a t-shirt. I'm wearing like board shorts, flip-flops to take Leanne to school. So it doesn't get cold here. Maybe cool weather, maybe 75, but it never gets cold here in Aklan province. Maybe in Baguio, maybe in Tagaytay, those higher elevation areas, you get cold weather, but never cold weather here. I've never had to wear a jacket here. Maybe a raincoat, to not get wet in the rain, but never like a thick jacket or a sweater. I don't own a sweater. Says here, Bicol region, Quezon, Oriental Mindoro, Zamboanga, rest of Visayas, whole of Visayas, Metro Manila, Luzon, rest of Mindanao. Same weather. It says partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. Possible flash floods or landslide due to heavy rain. So, and there's areas even here in Panay Island, the past couple of days were just a torrential rain downpour for like 2-3 hours, and areas get flooded here, unfortunately. Let me go back here. I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody's comment here. Daniel, good morning. Thriving. Kevin Shorts, are you going to watch Avengers Doomsday this year? Oh, if I get a chance, if the only theater that there's a movie theater here in Aklan province, but it's in Boracay Island. On the mainland, we don't have a theater here. There's a theater in Rojas City. There's a theater in Iloilo City. So if it happens that we're there and then we see a good movie, we'll watch it. The last movie Dazzle and I saw, we saw the F1 movie last June in Boracay. That's the last movie we saw. We don't get to watch a lot of movies. If you watch 2 movies a year on a big screen, that's about it. That's about it. Better for cards can't show for people this about rules and this about can get. Okay, I'm not quite getting what you're getting at there, Daniel. Better for cards. All right. Charlie, good morning, JP. Thriving, sub, Tim C. Please don't forget to give a like. Probably a like. All right. JP, Metrobank wanted to see a long-term lease before they would do a remittance. Okay, see, that's the thing, JP. There's just so many rules here that different banks have different ways. It's like that's the process. Unfortunately, JP, that's what I'm saying. A lot of like the challenges you're running into now with getting your money, things like that. Like I made a comment, says, a year from now, you'll get the layout of the land. I think what I suggested to you, probably you sent too much money to yourself. $2,000, that's over 100,000 pesos. That's a lot of money for Filipinos. That's not a low ball number. That's like some people don't make 100,000 here in a year. So you got to think about things like that. Unfortunately, you won't know until you try it, right? So I think if you had sent yourself like $1,000 at a time, I think you would have been fine, because like I said, Joel sent me $1,500 from Arizona before he got here. So when he got here, I can hand him his cash. No worries. I picked it up Remitly, and he used Remitly. It's trial and error, unfortunately, because like I said, even the remittance centers, even Palawan, Western Union, everybody operates at their own. They all have these rules. Like, it doesn't apply to every single branch. That's why it's like trial and error until that you get into that, you get a way to get your money, but I think you're prepared anyway. I think before you came here, JP, I know I told you, make sure you have several ways of getting money to yourself. So I don't think you're like, you can access your money. That's the biggest problem is you get to the point where you can't access your money in the US. Now that would be a problem if you can. And worst comes to worst, I trust you enough, JP, that I can lend you money, or you can we can work something out that way if you get strapped for money that you can't access your money. Alan, if all the banks work together, it will be easier to track the flood money. And that's another issue, Alan. That's the reason why the banks are getting stricter right now, is because of the flood control projects. They had suitcases and suitcases of pesos here, in the millions of pesos. The banks were releasing money. So now there's like, if you get money out of the bank, like 500,000 pesos, it's a red flag to the government here. It's kind of like, what are you doing with like 500,000 pesos? So I'm sure everything in the banks, they're being scrutinized more now. Here in the Philippines, that's how it works here. When something happens here, it gets over policed, or over, if like when Vitali, when that incident happened with the Russian guy that went crazy, right? That they jailed him. Right after that, all kinds of, it got strict last year. We're like, oh, you can't vlog with people faces on it and all that. But now it's back to normal. It's an overreaction a lot of times here in the Philippines to anything. So the flood money, the money that the banks were releasing, suitcases and suitcases of money. Now the banks are, the government's got their eyes on the banks now. They're because the banks had to be implicit with a lot of the flood control. A lot of they were, were involved, right? They're the ones that you were allowing like withdrawals of millions of pesos at the time. Or open a bank account. JP. Good AM, Gino fam and the Panay Posse. Hello, Fortune. Good AM, Mike, Kevin, Lowell, Daniel. Didn't stop against it this because people never accept. Okay. All right, Daniel. I don't know what you're getting at. Kevin Shores, are you familiar with Marvel? Yeah, I watch a lot of the Marvel. Movies. I've watched pretty much, we've watched most of it, but there's so many now, right, that comes out for Marvel. But that's Zona. We watch it on Netflix a lot of times. We don't really get the opportunity to watch it in the movie theaters. J. Loren. Keep being you, Gino. My trip was postponed, but my wife and I are still interested in scoping out. All right, no worries. And I'm not gonna change, man. I'm me, man. I try to help people as best I can. I try to, give you the answers, but I don't have all the answers, unfortunately. Like I've said many times, things change here in the Philippines. There's so many things here that happen, like I said, like something will happen, like a scandal, and they over exaggerate everything. Kind of like it becomes the news of the moment. Right now it's the flood control, the corruption with the flood control that has a lot of eyes on it. But another thing will happen like in a month or two, and that will be forgotten. That's the way it is here in the Philippines. What's going on, Gino, Emilio? Nothing much going on, my brother. Pinayar, hello, Gino and everyone. How is JP adjusting since his arrival? I think he's adjusting well. I think JP's walking around in Cali. He's been here a little over a week now. He's been walking all over Calibo. JP decided to just walk when he's in Calibo. And then he bought a motorbike. He bought a brand new motorbike. That way he can venture outside of Calibo on a motorbike. So I mean, I think he's ahead of the game. I think he's ahead of the game because the motorbike being able to leave and travel like to New Washington, to other towns in Aklan. To me, that's like he's ahead of the game. I think the weather's not cooperating. It's been since New Year. It's been wet here. It's been raining, so that kind of like. It makes you want to just stay at home, like for us, I don't like driving in the rain. More accidents happen here when it's raining. So I try to limit travel right now until the weather gets better. Good AM, JPPBT. Is there a max that you can send there? I don't think there's a max amount of money that you can send, but because, it depends on the banks, because people build houses here, Emilio. There's people that I know that move here. They're getting their money from the U.S. and they're spending millions to build a house here. So there's a way to get your money here. I don't think there's a max. Of course, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. If you're sending over $10,000 at a time to the Philippines, that's going to cause a red flag in the U.S. Like the IRS will the number that people always say is don't send anything over $10,000 to the Philippines because you might be flagged for money laundering and things like that. Slowly send money. Don't send big chunks of money here. Truth. I went to Palawan in Caticlan to swap 100 bill and they would not touch it because, yes, that's 100% that happens here, Alan. Your $100 bills that you bring here to the Philippines, they gotta be in mint condition. If it's got a crease, if it's got a staple, some reason people like to staple money and it ends up putting that hole in the money, they won't exchange your money here. Good AM, Emilio Philippine Heart. Okay. Pinay Heart, Pinay. Belus. Good morning all. Hey, good morning, Belus. Good morning, Belus. When I see Belus, I always try to pull up my topic for the day because I know he's like, he's always looking for a topic for me. So I'm always like ready for a topic. And today my topic is going to be, I saw this post by this Canadian. And you know what? The Canadians, Canadians always have that reputation for being nicer people and good guys, nice people. And I have to agree. Most of the Canadians that I've met here in the Philippines, they're just a lot more, I don't want to offend Americans because I'm an American myself, but they're just like kinder. They seem to be kinder. They don't go off the handle as much as Americans. Americans, unfortunately, and hopefully I'm not offending anybody. Americans have a tendency to just got like little things trigger Americans. And I like this post from this Canadian because even when the Canadian comment on the group, you see all the comments below, all the other Canadians that are here in the Philippines, they're commenting. They're pleasant. All their comments are pleasant. If this was an American, there's gonna be Americans in there like negative, both negative and positive. But I like this post because this guy says, "Hi, my name is Joe. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. I'm here new. Any advice to a Canuck coming to the Philippines for the very first time? My ears are wide open. Many thanks in advance." See how pleasant that is? Even it's like a post is pleasant. And you can see all the other Canadians that's here in the Philippines and many, there's right now this was 10 hours ago. He's got already 59 comments from Canadians here in the Philippines. Right here, one says, "Arrive with an open mind and enjoy the difference than complaining it is not like home. Stay out of the girly bars." That's one of the advice. And right here, it says, right here, another "I am a Canadian-born Manitoba, but settled in BC. But if you haven't traveled much and experienced, they miss. I realize city. This guy prefers the rural city life. He's saying that city life is almost the same where he was in Canada, but if you look at the comments from like Canadians, they're just pleasant. They're not antagonistic. It's like some of the comments when I go to like the expats group, when it's an American that gets posted, man, half of the comments they're like already bashing him. Oh, you're this and that. You're calling people names. On the post with Canadians, you just don't see that. You don't see that, and I guess it's true. It's just they're just nicer. Right here, another comment. Hi, Joseph. My site is set up for long-term visitors to the Philippines, but I cover society here, understanding the Filipino and what matters. And check out my page. Like so. They're like most of the comments, like I'm saying, they're all like right here. So another one. British Columbia boy myself. Spent time traveling the Philippines. Recommend Bohol. Lots to do and see. Some of the best beaches and people for sure. But it really depends on what you're looking for. But you can see how pleasant, how pleasant the comments are. It's like that's what caught my eye. It says here, Cebu is much better airport to fly to. We said that before. Try to stay away from Manila. Try to stay away from Manila. That's if you want to live, if you want a place safe to live, Davao. It says Davao. If you want best healthcare, Makati. Be safe, be polite, and of course, be open-minded. It's just like that's the theme. That's the theme of like the comments. Just because this guy's from Canada, and a lot of the people commenting are like from are Canadian. Right here, there's a post on this guy. He put a meme. It says here, your journey will be much lighter and easier if you don't carry with your past with you. And I like that because like, a lot of times, we all have past, we all have past in wherever we came from, bad experiences. And for me, when you arrive here to the Philippines, man, this is your chance to like change the narrative. If you've been in bad relationships before, if you don't like the place where you lived before, the Philippines provides you that fresh start in life. So for me, hey babe, there's Dazzle. She's awake. You're okay, babe? All right. So for me, you're starting a new life here, like JP is starting a new life here, new experience. For me, leave all that behind, all the negative stuff, all the baggage that carry with you all your life. It's a time here to like get rid of all that stuff because here you can start fresh. People, it's like, don't know your history here. You don't have to share any of your history here. You're not obligated to share your history. Like I said, the Philippines is a fresh start for a blank slate for many people when you come here, and for me, it's like that's an awesome opportunity to like reinvent yourself. If you were unhappy where you were, if you got like relationship issues in the past, divorce, whatever baggage you're carrying in the past, you can leave that behind in your country. The Philippines gives you a fresh start. It's like you're gonna meet people here that more likely in the same situation you're in. More likely they're like. There's a reason why expats come here. There's a reason why we're here instead of in our country that we worked all those years, right? There's a reason, it's like we're here for like a new beginning or retirement to enjoy our retirement because this place allow you to retire with a low budget, allows you to like that pension that you're getting from the US, like Social Security, whatever. You can live here on that, unfortunately now in the US, if you're on Social Security alone, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle to retire in the Philippines. That's why more and more people are coming here to the Philippines, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, you name it, Southeast Asia, and then some going to Latin America, Panama, Mexico, Colombia, you name it, because it's just not affordable for Americans, unfortunately, now to retire on Social Security alone. Daniel from PayPal, be crazy. This happened. Get in trouble. Yes, sometimes. Edgar, there's Edgar. I will use your new bike as collateral. JB, only charge 75% interest. That's funny. That's funny, Edgar. Fortune, good AM, Edgar. I don't like for yeah. Nobody likes a scam, Daniel. Nobody it's like and it's not all scams here in the Philippines. You hear a lot of scams, of course. That happens. I mean, there's scams in the U.S. I used to get phone calls in the U.S. There's scams in the U.S. But you just got to be careful. Ask people that's here. Ask people like me. Ask people like Edgar, JP. They're boots on the ground here. Ask them what their experience is, what to avoid. Learn from other expats, from mistakes that we've done and from our experience. JP, everything has been working out. My apartment is fully functional now, and I have my wheels. There have been some small road bumps, but I expected that. Yeah, it's like you have a good attitude, JP, because like people come here sometimes, JP. I think their expectation is like they're thinking that they come to the Philippines and they're expecting everything works here like their country, like the developed country where they came from, Canada, US, Australia, England. They're expecting the same service, the same efficiency, the same customer service, even, the same. This is a totally different culture here. This is a developing country. The Philippines it's still in its infancy, like it's still growing, and the culture alone, it's a different mindset here. It's a different way of thinking here. Things go slow here. It's everything's on island time here. Everybody's late here for the most part. Nobody's on time here. Nothing starts on time here. Those are some of the frustrations here that I know expats experience. But once you go through all that, and like I said on that comment I made to you, JP, a year from now, you will look back at like the first month you were here, all the things that you had to go through, and just smile because you made it through it. You made it, and it gets easier. Trust me, brother, it gets easier. The longer you're here, the more you're gonna become a Filipino. You're gonna be more in tune with like how things are done here in the Philippines. The people that struggle are the people that can't accept that they cannot accept the fact that they're no longer in their country, that the Philippines operates on its own rhythm. The Philippines, they do things here the way they do. Nothing you can change about it. You can complain, you can whine, you can post online, you can do all kinds of things. The Philippines will never change. It's always going to be poor, unfortunately. The rich people control the money here, unfortunately. Corruption in government, that's never going to change here. And then all the natural disasters, that happens every year. You can't change that. We have no control on that. It's just, I just do not see a path for the Philippines to like become a developed country. I won't see it in my lifetime. And I think if you start thinking like that, I think that's a better way of thinking. That way you're not going to get stressed. The fact that you moved away from a developed country to a developing country, you should expect like the struggle in the beginning. But once you like adapt to the life here, your money goes a long way here. You're gonna, that alone should make you happy. You're not gonna be worried about losing your house in the U.S. or not affording your lifestyle in the U.S. Here, the minute you get into like that rhythm, that monthly budget, and you're saving money every month, you're golden. You're golden here. Lenora, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Pineapple under the sea. JP, you saw SpongeBob there. That's Dazzle SpongeBob up there. Most of the remittance centers I have dealt with have a 50K peso limit. So that's the thing, JP. If they have a 50 peso limit, you might have to send every time 50,000 peso. It's like build your money, that you're holding. Jokano, JP, it sounds like you are settling in well. Now you need a back rider for the back and a fishing partner. And that will come. Yeah, that will come. It's like next thing you know, we're gonna, JP's gonna meet a Filipina here. That's just gonna come here. It comes natural to I've yet to meet an expat here that doesn't find a partner here. JP was gonna take his time anyway. He told me he's gonna take his time. He wants to make sure he's settled in, adjust to the way way of life here in the Aklan province, and a Filipino will come. It's not like I don't meet anybody here that doesn't have a partner here. Top of the morning, Master Sergeant Gino, Michael Manalastas, my good friend, my brother in Northern California. Jason Potter. Hi, Gino. Hi, Jason. Thank you, Jason, for joining the live stream. Appreciate you, my friend. Lowell, Morning Fortune. Good morning from Nigeria. Wow, thank you, Alice from Nigeria. Man, that's a long way. I don't get many in the live stream from Nigeria, so I appreciate it. I appreciate you joining from Nigeria. That's correct. Fortune, 500K is money laundering threshold, right? That's now the amount, that triggers the banking, the government here. If you're transferring more, withdrawing or something, and that started because of the flood control, because all these suitcases and suitcases of pesos that were like being passed around because of the flood control, the corruption, unfortunately. So now the eye is on, that's the big news here, the past couple of months. So that's going to be the news here for a few more months until another topic, another news, a scandal or something happens. And then all that stuff's going to be forgotten. That's just the way the Philippines works, man. Above that amount, they will ask for docs to prove source of money and use of money. Thank you, Fortune. Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah. Like I said, I know people that have built houses here. Belus is one of them. So you just got to be careful. Bring in money to the Philippines. Just follow the law. If it says you can bring in below $10,000 at hand carry cash, don't bring more. Stay within the law. Stay within the law. That way, keeps you out of trouble. You can wire bank to bank once you establish your bank account here. I've known people that wired money bank to bank from the U.S. with the SWIFT code and all that. Just ask the bank where you're banking with. Once you open an account, hey, how much money can I transfer to this account before something gets flagged or something like that? Just be careful when moving large chunks of money. Joe, JP, did you get your temporary tag for the bike? Oh yeah, I didn't ask JP yet whether he was able to get his... Nathan sent me to Unitop to look for mattress protector. Not only mattress protector, but found a helmet, 3 t-shirts, extra large, and few other things. They had up to 4X. Oh, that's good. That's good that they got like bigger sizes, because that is hard to find here. If you're like large built American, most Americans are pretty big guys. So that's hard to find, like the 4X. And remember, like the sizes of clothes here in the Philippines, like me in the United States, I'm a medium US size. It's normally what I wear in the US. But here in the Philippines, I'm a large or extra large. And I'm 148 pounds, 5'10", so I'm not even really large. I'm skinny, but that's the way it is here. The sizes are much smaller. Filipinos are smaller, Filipinos are smaller people. But it's good to know. Thank you. Unitop in Calibo got sizes all the way to 4XL. Remember, the military would tell us that we're off limits or not safe, and those were the I know, right, Jason? I know, Jason, but that's funny. It is. It's like when I went to Korea, back in the 80s, they will tell us that we had a curfew. I think midnight was the curfew. They said you need to be out of the bars in Korea before midnight. And there's areas where they will tell you don't go there, but you know how you're drinking, you're bar hopping with your friends. Hey, let's check it out. What's the big deal about that place? But that's what happens. That's what happens when drinking is involved. Well, military guys, it's like things go wrong. Things go wrong. But that's why I'm glad I don't drink alcohol anymore. So. HD, greetings and salutations. Hello, everyone. Hello, HD. Good morning, Fortune, JP, Jason Edgar. Fortune, did Maggie survive the registration? I'll let Fortune answer that, Joe. Joe, I did get a temporary plate, but it is just the printed laminated logo of the place where I bought the bike. I am going back today to get screws for it. Apparently, they are hard to find. Oh wow, hard to find the screws, right? The screws. If they don't have it, at the dealership, JP, any of the motorcycle shops that you'll see, like that sell tires, battery, vulcanizing, the on Rojas Avenue, right there when you make a turn, when you make a right turn. I think there's one right there. What's that name of that place? A decal something. It's like a decal place. They might have those screws for the license plate. Jason Potter, HD. All right, JP. Hello, HD. Fortune, what do you think about certain Filipino lawmakers trying to remove 500 from circulation to stop corruption? Joe, maybe zip ties if you can. Oh yeah, zip tie. I have used zip ties. Good suggestion there, Joe. Because one time I couldn't find those screws either, and I used zip ties, and then it extends a little bit, and you just cut it, and it held it. It held my plate with the zip ties. Good tip there, Joe. XRP World, Alan. HD, getting rid of 500,000 bill will only mean more suitcases. More suitcases. Maybe the 1,000, because 1,000 peso here in the Philippines. The problem with the 1,000 peso bill is $18. Not really big amount, right? But man, when you're carrying like 1,000 peso bill, it's hard to get change anywhere. It's like. If you go to like 7-Eleven, even you go to that, forget about the sari-sari store. If you show up at the sari-sari store, well, with 1,000 peso bill, they'll look at you like, "Are you crazy? What are you bringing that money here for?" It's hard to get it exchanged to a lower denomination. 500 is not bad. I'm always happy when I get my ATM money out of the ATM and 500s come out instead of 1,000 peso bill, because the 1,000 peso bill is just hard to use here. It's like most places you go, they won't have change for you. It's not like in the US, like a lot of places carry a lot of change. Here it's not like that, especially the province. It's hard to break 1,000 peso bill here. $18. It's hard to break that here. Good morning, Gino and all. JP, I know before there was a place in our mall that would make a license plate for your motorbike. Yeah, they have those too here, Ted. They have places that it's similar. It's not the official metal plate. JP won't get that official metal plate for a while, but they'll create one that's like made out of plastic. They try to copy the way it looks, because they do have those. They have there's one here in Numancia that does that plate printing shops that print like in plastic, but it's still not the metal plate. Joe, zip ties are number 2. I'm going to try handyman at Gaisano Mall first for the bolts. All right, JP. See, JP's getting around. He knows Gaisano Mall already, Grand Gaisano. He's walking around Calibo, because that was JP's plan, was like, if it's just Calibo, he's just gonna walk, because Calibo is very walkable. It's not a gigantic city. It's not like Rojas City, not Iloilo City. You can walk Calibo pretty much from Pastrana Park to Gran Gaisano is where all the businesses are. So, and I would say that's only about 1.5 kilometers from Pastrana to Gran Gaisano on Rojas Avenue. Everything is there, so very walkable. You don't. That's why I think it's ideal for people coming here if you not don't have a vehicle right away. Calibo is perfect for that. You don't need a car. You don't need a motorbike right away, because plenty of tricycles, and you can walk. You can walk if you're a walker. Even Ruben, when Ruben's here. He's in San Diego right now. He'll be back after at the Atienza. He walks all over Calibo. He's lost weight because he's like walking so much in Calibo. Ramil, good morning. I'm here for the daily dose of good vibes. Oh, thank you, Ramil. Thank you for that. God bless, Gino. All right, God bless, my friend. HD, yes, Alan. Their argument is that it makes it harder when having to carry more suitcases. I think 1,000 or 20, yeah, about 20 US, about 18, depending on the exchange rate. They're about 20 US bills, dollar bill. Fortune, good AM, Joe. JP, maybe might have some. Oh yeah, that Mr. DIY too. Yeah, because they have a motorcycle section at Mr. DIY also. Oh, he's learning Calibo. He probably learned, he's finding out things in Calibo that I don't even know. It's like, because he's walking around Calibo so much now. HD, it's inconvenient to have a bulky wallet, especially when cash is king here. Yeah, to me, I don't carry a bulky wallet just because I usually keep around 3,000, 4,000 pesos on my wallet, but I have my phone, so I have GCash. So if I need to spend more than that, I just use my GCash, the electronic wallet. And I'm sure JP will get that GCash too once he gets his card, his his registration card here. Once you'll get that card, JP, on the second renewal of your tourist visa. The first renewal, they won't 30 days, and then the second renewal. So basically, after 60 days in country, you'll apply for the ACR card, and you'll get it like a week. Sometimes people get it like a couple of days. So it just depends on the Bureau of Immigration where you apply for the ACR card. Fortune, JP, most of the $700 US I got yesterday was in 500 peso bills. Super, yeah, but a lot easier to spend. Yeah, I prefer the 500 because the 500, they seem to make easier to spend. When you're spending 1,000 peso bills here in the Philippines, a lot of times they don't have any change for it. They'll even sometimes, well, they can't help you. Or if you're buying something like a drink, mango shake or something, they'll just say, oh, we don't have any change. They'll tell you, they'll say that to you. But with 500, easier to spend with 500 peso bills. 500 pesos is about $9. HD, they won't do it. More costs producing hundreds to hundreds in slower amount. The banks will have more operational costs. Imagine loading oh yeah, that'll be, that's why most banks load it with 1,000 peso, right? Right. Fortune, I would say 90% of the time when I go to ATM, I get 1,000 peso bills, $18 or $20 bills instead of the 500. When I get the 500, I'm all happy because it's not hard to spend the 500 pesos instead of 1,000. That's my line of thinking, Fortune. It just happened to see it my social media feed and thought it was a joke until I looked it up and found it to be true. PNB has a 5K US per month limit, as I know. All right. Good to know, Ted. Thank you for sharing that. JP, before Dazzle returns, Can you give me a chocolate list for Dazzle? Leanna, I recall her Dazzle, like, yes, Dazzle loves M&M peanuts. She loves Leanna and Mom, anything really, JP. They're easy, but Dazzle's favorite is M&M peanuts. Where do you pick up the suitcase? I wish I knew, Jason Potter, where you pick up these suitcases of. I'm not a high roller like that, man. I don't think I'll ever experience that, picking a suitcase of 1,000 peso bills in the Philippines. That's above my pay grade, man. That's above my pay grade here in the Philippines. I don't think I'll ever experience that. Yes, Joe or Joe. Because of her privileges, she was able to construct her schedule. Oh, okay, for Maggie. And it's Tuesday to Friday, 8:30 to 4, with 2 90-minute break in between. Oh, that's not bad. That's a good schedule, man. I hated it when I was going to STI College Calibo. Sometimes there were days where Dazzle and I would have a class from like 7 a.m. to like 10 a.m. And our next class is like 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We got all the most of the day open. It's like, but it's the way it is sometimes with the scheduling. That's a great schedule for Maggie, for Chen. Since we are in the new year and taxes are coming up, states like California tend to pursue taxes even when you haven't lived there for over a year. Daniel, howdy to all my posse brews. All right, all right. Life Green, Life Grease. Joe, that is great, Fortune. Was she able to get the class you wanted her to get? Okay, good morning, Life. Alan, very true about Filipinos being small. My wife shops in the junior section here in the US. LOL. Bill Meyer, hey, Bill Meyer. Good morning. Prayers, Bill Meyer. JP, I asked for help finding t-shirts, and not only did I get help selecting t-shirts, she helped me find a helmet and hot sauce. That's good. That's good, JP. So now you know a place where if you go, that you're getting good treatment, right? That's to me, that's always the key. When I get bad service, or even at restaurants here, or something I don't like about the restaurant, maybe too noisy, music loud, I just don't go back. But when I go to restaurants that I enjoy the food, I enjoy the ambience, then I recommend it. It's like. For me, I've always like the videos that you see Dazzle and I when we do videos where we eat. We like those places. That's why we film it. I've filmed places in Calibo before where we didn't have a good experience, but I'm not gonna post that just because, to me, I don't want to hurt their business. A lot of them are mom and pop. So when I like John and Nelfas, that's my favorite in New Washington, Aklan. JP Edgar took JP there, and they have a good experience because that's our favorite. We already know. There's restaurants that I've filmed before where I didn't have a good experience, so I won't make a video of it. It's like I won't recommend them. I won't recommend. So most of the recommendations I do in Calibo, like the Eight Ball Tavern, the John and Nelfas in New Washington, the Backyard. Those are the places where Dazzle and I like to eat, where we have good experience every time. Fortune, Joe. So in the Registration Volunteer Corps, there are 3 departments: registration assistant, the one who process the requests for courses, marshals, the ones who monitor the priority order, and waitlist order. She's on the personnel. They are responsible for processing the courses requests of the RBC members. Now she's busy answering Google queries from student Google queries. Life. All right. Thank you, Life. Daniel, great name for your bike, Hot Sauce. Well, I know JP's bike is blue, so maybe something blue. But might be a good, because Hot Sauce is red. The Hot Sauce is red. So But it is a good name though. I mean, hot sauce. That'll be a good name too. Good AM, Ted and LV from Fortune. Registrations are always stressful and busy. Jason Potter, when I get over there, Dazzle, Mom, Leanna, Karen, and myself are taking on all right, hey, yeah, come on, Jason, come on, it's like that will be our first trip, is the Loola's fish farm. I'm happy to take people there because it's a great experience, it's like so peaceful there, you go, and it's fun, you see how much fun they have fishing. They got good food. You don't even need to bring food. They got good pancit there, good lumpia. You can even grill the fish that you catch. So man, it's like and it's not expensive. It's inexpensive. Very reasonable prices there. JP, I went to Nuat. Okay, I know where that is. I know where that Nuat Thai massage last night. 1 hour Swedish massage for 450 pesos was awesome. I slept so well. Okay. Now I haven't gotten a massage at that place. Now I know. Now, thank you for the recommendation, JP. So if I'm looking for a massage, next time I get a massage in Calibo, I will try that. Nuwat Thai. I know where that is. It's near the McDonald's. I know it's near the McDonald's. For HD, they filed these bills and open up for discussion and then shelved some of them. Oh yeah. It's the same thing in the U.S. It's the same thing, Fortune. All these bills that they make a big deal when they announce the bill proposal and then it dies. Something you never hear from it again until down the road, because it's a proposal. Anytime they do a proposal, it's like it's gonna get shot down in Congress, House of Representatives, the Senate, before it even becomes a law. Aloha, hey Derek, aloha Derek, aloha my brother in Hawaii. Good AM Daniel, JP, Fort, HD from Daniel. Huge plus, zip ties don't rust. I know, right? That's why I like the zip ties. I like that idea. I used it on Bumblebee before when I put a temporary plate. I had a temporary plate on Bumblebee for like 9 years. I didn't get my plate till I bought the motorbike in 2016. I didn't get my metal plate till 9 years later. That's how long it took for me to get my metal plate, man. I had a plastic laminated plate there for the longest time. For 9 years, I had a temporary plate. But now I think they fixed that now. I'm seeing more metal plates now in Calibo, less of like the temporary plates now. Fortune, yes, Joe, Maggie, since RBC did not take the block courses. Block courses means you get a set of 5 courses predefined. Oh, that's nice that she got to handpick her schedule. Mine was like the block. Every time Dazzle and I enrolled at SDI College, every semester, they already had all the setup. Well, you just pay your tuition, you get your schedule. Like they already decide the courses and the schedule. The ultimate HD. Okay, thanks, Fortune. Usually when I hear it in discussion, federal, state, or local, it is not shelved. It is not shelved. Fortune. So she has 5 business admin courses and an economics course. 18 units, pretty busy. 18 units, that's a pretty busy schedule here. Hi, Daniel from HD. Good AM, Derek from Fortune. 500 is better in the province to exchange. 1,000 harder. Yeah, it's like, it's hard, like when you got those 1,000 peso bills here, it's hard to use them, even if you go to get a rotisserie chicken, a chokes, 250, they don't have 750 to change it. It's so hard to spend that 1,000. And then people would like look at you, like if you're buying like a soda or something worth less than 100 pesos and you have 1,000, they're going to look at you like, are you serious? Are you serious? Correct, Gino. They load 1,000, so less operating costs. Then the client worries exchanging them for lower bills. I know, it's like here in the province, it's almost impossible. I mean, most of the province, like the vendors, the fruit vendors, the seafood vendors, they're like in this like tiny stalls, right? Roadside stalls. They're not going to be able to break 1,000, because they're selling fruits, vegetables, seafood. When you go to these places, you got to bring change. You got to bring 50 pesos, 100 pesos, change, actual like coins with you, because you're only spending a little amount on those stalls. They won't have a lot of change for you. If you're bringing in the 1,000 peso bill, it's hard to spend. Belus, money is work here. Been flagged many times. Doing budget this month. Small amounts is the best. 1,800 US dollars, 10K, 10,000 a month max. Yes. Anything if you do anything US dollar over $10,000, you're gonna get flagged here. That's too much money. That's too much money. But it has to be below $10,000. IRS even in the US will flag it. They have to report it. The banks here, if you'd have a transaction over $10,000, I think they're obligated to report it to the US government. Walking around with 125,000 pesos in pocket to buy the bike was fun. It was fun. Joe, even here in the US, politicians introduce bills to make it look like they are doing things while knowing the bill won't go anywhere. Right, Joe? Same thing here. Same thing here. They always like do the same thing here. It's for show. A lot of it's for show. There's bills here in the Philippines that I know will never get passed because it's career suicide if it gets passed. Bring max cash allowed. Stash 100 bills are nice on hand. No rips, brand new. Oh yeah, mint condition. Mint condition $100 bills. Don't bring $20 bills even if they're mint, because you'll get a lower exchange rate if it's like a $20 bill. If you're gonna bring dollars here, $100 bills, mint condition. JP must have deep pockets to fit that much money in them. He's probably wearing like cargo shorts or something, cargo shorts to keep all that pesos in the pocket. HD. Joe. In the late 80s and early 90s, the department I worked for used to meet a bank employee with a satchel full of cash to move on paydays. The most I remember was over $250,000. After that, I never asked. Wow. Belus, hi everyone. Again, sorry if I missed. Good morning. Fighting short upload. All right, Belus. Job, hi Belus. We told John and Nelfas we were there because of Dazzle TV. All right, man. Thank you. They know us there pretty well because that's our favorite to play. We've taken many expats. I think the minute an expat comes here and they say, hey, let's go out to eat, we always take them to John and Elfas in New Washington, Aklan. Good food always. Good food. Then Gino, have y'all ever had almond M&Ms? They're my favorite. I don't think I've had an almond M&M. Always the peanut. That I don't know if that's even available here in the Philippines. I love the Philippines. It just funner truth. It is. It's more fun in the Philippines, right? It's more fun in the Philippines. Yeah, I think once you adapt to the way things are done here, it of course it becomes more fun. And then when you meet your Filipina, it's like that's usually that seals the deal for a lot of people that come here. Once they meet their Filipina, you have a partner. Many people come here to the Philippines just for that, just to meet a Filipina, because they come from all over the world. And in a developed country, it's getting harder and harder to meet a nice woman, just because when they're in their 50s, 60s, the women, they're, the pool is just not that big. Here, with the age gap being accepted here, if you're in your 50s here, 60s here, you're gonna date women here in their 30s, easy. It's like so many that you'll meet here. Some will be single moms, but a lot of expats, and I know they don't mind dating single moms. Ellen, love. I know John and Elfa. See, Ellen knows about John and Elfa's, and great seafood. HD, yes, they're pretty good too, Daniel. They're not full almond though. It's half an almond. Oh, okay, half an almond. I was kind of trying to picture it because I know the almond is like shaped like a football, so it's half almond. Thank you for that. I am worried about what Edgar might want to name my bike. You're afraid what Edgar's gonna name your bike, JB. That's funny. Blue's Clues. All right, Blue's Clues. Oh, that's a good name. Blue's Clues. That's a good name. That's a good name. Blue Angel. All right, there you go. There you go. That's a good name. You are Blue Angel. The Navy, the Navy, U.S. Navy Blue Angel. That's a good name. Will be an official christening ceremony. Yeah, I know they do that here. Even new bikes, new cars, new homes, they have like a blessing from the church here. They do that. I mean, you don't have to do that, JP, but if you're interested in that, it's like usually the church has a certain day at the cathedral, Calibo Cathedral, where people take their motorbikes there and they do the priests will like bendición is what they call it, like bless your bike. I know there's gonna be more of that during Ati-Atihan. A lot of people here in Calibo, they have a Santo Niño inside their home. What's that? A statue of the Santo Niño. And one of the things they do every year during Ati-Atihan is take their Santo Niño. Some of them are good size, some of them are tiny, some of them are pocket size even. And people take that to the Calibo Cathedral, and there's a priest in there that will bless the Santo Niño. That's lines of people, hundreds and thousands of people line up to get their Santo Niño blessed here during Ati-Atihan. JB, I second that, Jason. Blue's Clues, that's the Blue's Clues. So Joe second the Blue's Clues name. JP, Nuwatay does not open until 1 p.m. Oh, good to know. Thank you, JP. The first day I went, they were booked until after 5 p.m. Let's pick a time and we'll treat you. Oh, all right. Thank you, JP. I'll let Dazzle know. I appreciate that, JP. We haven't had a massage in Calibo in quite some time. Yeah, we do in Boracay, but we haven't had one here. The one that we used to like to go, they closed, so we haven't found a replacement massage place in Calibo. JP worked in law enforcement, so thin blue line for the bike. Ooh, that's a good one. Man. Thin blue line. That's a good one, Joe. HD, I am afraid of the type of summer Edgar would choose. Edgar's always the prankster. So JP's word when it's Edgar's idea. Today, it hit 59. Oh yeah, I saw that. Over 59 pesos again for the dollar exchange here in the Philippines. And what's nice, usually when the dollar goes up here, the exchange rate, notice like the cost of gasoline also goes up. But this time, it's still under 60 pesos per liter in our province. And that's low. That's low here in our province. I've seen 75, I've seen 80 per liter here. So even though the dollar is climbing, the exchange rate, the gasoline prices in the province here hasn't. So that's a good sign. Cargo shorts for I figured JP had cargo shorts on. Hello, Ray. Hey, Ray, my brother in Sacramento, California. Hello, hello. Hey, Ray. Hi, Ray from HD. Hi, HD. Ray. HD, did Daly City get flooded? HD, Ray, I'm in the Philippines now. I know. He's in Numancia now. He's like, his barangay is like only 5 minutes away from our barangay. He's a Numancia resident now. Michael C. Hey, Michael C. My brother in Trece Martires in Cavite. Morning Fortune HD, Edgar. Jason, I'm coming to the Philippines for James and Karen's. Oh, thank you. That's funny. That's funny, Jason. You're coming here because of us. But we will entertain you for sure, man. You're our friend, Jason. So anything you want to do when you come here to the Philippines, we'll do it. Fishing, beach, Boracay, you name it. We'll do it. We know you're a good guy, man. We know you're a good guy. Be happy to hang out with you, Jason. HD, hi, Michael C. Belus. I had my Pinay since 2018, so very soft landing. We wait 2 years to marry, still culture shock for me. Yeah, I'm sure, right? It's like a lot different from Wyoming for sure. Belus is a Wyoming cowboy, and to be in the Leyte now, in the jungle, jungle to like Wyoming, God's country. So that's got quite a difference there. Michael C. Super typo, bro. My phone is too fast. No worries, Michael C. Good AM, Blues. Martin, the original story of Santo Niño is very miraculous. Castaway, Michael in Dumaguete City. Good morning, my brother from another. All right. Not sunny here, man. Not sunny here. It's like cloudy again here. Cloudy in our area. Gino, are you getting ready? For me at Atiatihan, I don't really do any getting ready for Atiatihan. I know I'll film. I know the first events of Atiatihan, I think is Friday. They usually have like a beauty pageant. Then Saturday, Sunday, I think they have like a car show, motorcycle show. So I'll go because it's good to film the Atiatihan. But I don't really do any, already my t-shirt, from last year, I keep the Atiatihan t-shirts. They already had like Atiatihan in Lezo this past weekend. Lezo, Aklan is like the town next to us. And I know Malay and Ibahay, Emakato, those three towns they'll have something going on this week, but I don't even go to those because they're a little far from me. So I'll just wait when Calibo, all the activities in Calibo really heats up like Monday to Friday next week. Calibo is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy in Calibo. I have to like park my probably Bumblebee somewhere and then walk to Calibo in order. I wish I can live stream a lot of that, but I know they block the signal during Atiatihan. The festival area, you can't do a live stream because they cut like smart globe, your phone, you're not going to be able to use it. I guess it's for security reasons. Every year they do that during Atiatihan. I am coming to PH just to meet a sweet young... Balut, that's funny. Belus, the Catholic Church blesses our house every year. I feel like a royalty, but our house is always open during disasters, usually full. And that's a blessing for the people there, Belus, that you do that. That's just amazing, man. Fortune, good AM, Michael C. Good AM, Michael S. Thin blue line sounds like my bike is a skid mark on the pavement. I think Edgar picked blue bike is. Oh, I know, Edgar. Fortune, good AM, Ray. That's awesome. I need to do transfers. That will really help projects. Castaway, hello, morning, Master Fortune. I brought 4 cargo shorts, 8 t-shirts. Not enough shirts. I go through at least 2 shirts a day, especially. Yeah, if you go outside, you're gonna sweat. If you're walking, I know if I'm walking Calibo, man, I sweat all the time too if I'm walking. Normal now in Manila. I feel the traffic already yesterday, not yet. Picked up Maggie, UP. Skyway went on normal days. Takes me to 2 hours. Okay, Jay. Enter JP's Blues Clues in the car show. In the car show, they do have a motorbike show. I know that's probably this weekend. There's a car show that's got a lot of VWs. And then there's a tricycle show too, fancy looking tricycles, and then the motorbike show. There's like I've seen a Bugatti, like the big bikes, on display on the. So a lot of activities like that at Pastrana Park this coming weekend. JP, are you putting a towel down the back of your shirt to absorb some of the sweat? I don't think JP's doing that yet. It's like I don't do that. I've never done that. I just let myself sweat and then I'll change shirts. So I wear the material, the dry fit material that works better, handling the sweat because it dries quicker. James should be able to live stream it since, oh yeah, for Starlink. If he's carrying his Starlink, he'll be able to live stream it. But we'll find out for sure how that will work because they're very strict. They're very strict at the festival area. I don't know what they will allow or not. We'll find out. We'll find out for sure during the festival. You have to go through like security to get into the festival area. They'll check all the bags. They wand you with like anything metal, anything sharp, even a pencil, even a ball pen you can't bring into the festival area just for security. It's for security reason why they do that. Magandang umaga. Din Fortune. All right, Ray. Magandang umaga. If Master Sergeant doesn't do it, I am not even considering it. Pinay Heart, I remember in EDSA when cars were stuck in traffic, people would jump onto the vehicles and refuse to leave unless you gave them something. People would jump onto the vehicles and refuse to leave unless. Okay. I know the traffic gets heavy there. I mean, I've been in traffic many eons ago in EDSA where the cars don't move. You're just stuck in traffic for like, you might move like a couple of blocks in like an hour's time. It's just like a deadlock. It gets traffic in EDSA sometimes gets deadlocked. All right, let me see. I had another topic. I did the topic about the Canadian guy. There was another topic that, this one. I like this guy's post too. He says here, I absolutely love the Philippines. I have been here for 8 months and Lord willing, I am never returning to America. I'm not quite like this guy. It's like if I ever go back to America, I wouldn't hurt my feelings, but if not, not a big deal to me anymore. But that was his post. That was his post. And like I said, I can see the difference with on these Facebook groups. When it's an American, that Canadian guy got nothing but like support, like, hey, do this, kind words. But if it's a guy like comments about America, it's like half of it's negative, half of it's positive, unfortunately. And a lot of comments, 342 comments on this one. And then like here, it says, Lord willing, don't get sick. And that's a lot of times, that's what happens, that's the thing that makes people leave the Philippines a lot of times is when they get sick, unfortunately. They go back to the U.S. for their Medicare. You can use Medicare in Guam or go back to the U.S. if you didn't shut down your Medicare at 65. If you did, you can still go. People think that if you turn down Medicare, that payment to them, there's just a penalty. If you decide like a 65, I'll keep the money, the 200 plus every month, and save that as my emergency fund. If you do get sick and you do decide to go to the US, you can start your Medicare again. It's just a penalty that you have to pay. This one comment I can tell is negative. It's got a long And here, Richard, he says, I came here 10 years ago. I've never been back since. Same with me. I've been here almost 15 years now, and I haven't been back in the U.S. I really don't have a reason to go back because my relatives in the U.S., they come to the Philippines. And when they come here, my sister's going to be here soon again. I'm able to take them around in my car. They're able to go to Boracay. I'm able to take them in Panay Island. If I go to the U.S., most of my relatives in the U.S. don't have the time. You know, it's like most of them work. Most of them has businesses. A lot of times, if they're working, you only get like 2 weeks PTO a year. So they're not going to waste that on me going to the U.S. You know, they're not. I don't expect them to. I don't expect them to if I go back. So more often, it's them that come here to the Philippines. And a lot of times, like with my sister, her kids, they came here last year for the first time in their lives. They're like in their 30s and 40s. They moved to the United States when they were kids, and they've never been to the Philippines. So that was a treat for them. They got to see the Philippines. They hear about it in the U.S., and that happens a lot with Filipino Americans. Unfortunately, when we go to America, coming from the Philippines as kids, a lot of them, you know, just absorb the American lifestyle, live there, you know, good lives in America. And for a lot of them, they never come back, even for a visit. You know, like my nephews and nieces, they're like late 30s already, early 40s. They left the Philippines when they were before 10. You know, that's a lot of years. You know, they really, I mean, they had fun. You know, they went to Boracay, they went to Surigao. They had fun while they were here, but they really can't understand. You know, they're Americans now. They're not really Filipinos. They're Filipino by birth, but they don't understand the culture here. Unfortunately, they've lost that. Santo Niño is my birth saint patron. All right, Ray. Jason, he will have that starling on top of his head at all times. On top, he'll have to carry it. You know, it's a good. I mean, it's a, but I'm not sure. You know, he'll find. I'm sure James will find out. You know, if they're gonna allow that at the festival area. I'm sure he can. I'm sure he can carry it around, like where there's groups that are walking before that. There's an area in Pastrana Park that they block off that you have to go through security. That's my concern. If they're, I can't see why not. Because it's a piece of equipment, but you never know. You never know what they will allow. I've never seen it. That would be the first time that I've seen a Starlink mobile inside the parade area. Good AM to all, Renz. Emilio, you still feel the spirit of Christmas there. People that are late removing their Christmas displays, some people take their time removing a lot of their Christmas stuff. My neighbor still got parole right there, right there. Please like and subscribe, Jason. Thank you, Jason. I don't really see Pinay Heart. The point coming back to the U.S. if you have everything in there. Yeah, me too. It's like many people have told me that before. Why don't I take Dazzle to the U.S.? For me, it doesn't make sense for Dazzle and I, just because we have a good life here. If I took Dazzle in the U.S., she'll just be lonely there. She'll struggle, be depressed, people. Pinay Heart, right? People say that. They think it's easy for Filipinas, for here in the Philippines, to go to another country away from everything, all their family members here. That's not easy, man. That's not easy. I do not want to deny Dazzle being around Leanna, being around mom or her relatives here. To me, it's more fun for her here. I'm securing her future as far as my life insurance, things that bought land for her. This house is going to be paid off for her. We have bank accounts. Dazzle's the beneficiary to all. Whatever I built, it belongs to Dazzle if something happens to me. So she's going to have a good life no matter what. Going to the U.S., if Dazzle and I went to the U.S., for one, more likely, I would have to go back to work and Dazzle would have to work, both of us. And what kind of life is that for us? We would be living in an apartment, probably both of us working, barely seeing each other. We're here, we're together all the time. we can take vacations, and I can go to Boracay today if I wanted to, spur the moment. We could do things like that here. We can't do that in America if we went to America. I can't leave my bike alone for as long as it takes to get to the USA. I can't leave my bike alone for as long as it takes. Oh, you can't let it. I know you're gonna have fun with a motorbike. You know, you're gonna love it here, man. When the weather gets better, JP, I know you'll be on the road for sure. I know you already. You're gonna be like taking that bike for a ride here in Panay Island. So once I move there, the only thing that would get me back to the US would be visit family, or if I go back to resolve banking issues. And you know, you can avoid like the banking issues. You can avoid that before you get here, Joe. You know, it's like you can have it set up to where it'll be like smooth. You know, as far as like banking issues. Just make sure you have many ways to access your money in the United States. For me, I'm not worried at all because like I've been collecting a military pension now. I started when I was 37. I'm almost 60. I've been collecting a military pension 23 years. And I've been here 15 years. I've always gotten it. You know, it's like I've never had a problem accessing my military pension. And my Social Security, I plan on collecting when I'm 62. They can go directly to a Philippine bank. You know, my military pension, the only reason I bank in the US is they don't deposit it directly to a Philippine bank. My military pension has to go to an American bank. But if they mail that money or send that money to a Philippine bank, I really don't have any more connections in the United States. I still file taxes, you know, that you can't avoid. I still have to file taxes. I use H&R Block online to file my taxes every year. But with Social Security, when you start Social Security, when I start at 62, it can go directly to a Philippine bank. My Social Security will go directly to a Philippine bank. So I don't even have to worry about that money going into the US bank and moving it here to the Philippines. Pinay Heart, one nice thing about the Philippines is that you can easily and affordably fly to other countries. Unlike here in the US, we're mostly stuck traveling within the country. Yeah, very, very inexpensive. I can fly from Iloilo. I can go to Iloilo. That's like I can ride a bus to Iloilo. Costs us about 250 pesos each to Iloilo. Right, you know, round trip tickets to like Thailand, Singapore, Taiwan, you name it. $200 round trip from Iloilo. So very affordable to travel for sure. And even that is expensive. Traveling from the Philippines to nearby countries is budget friendly. Definitely. Fox, just like carrying a cell phone or any other device. Fortune. Sorry, friends. All right, I'm gonna end the live stream here pretty quick here. Dazzle and I have to go somewhere this morning. We have an errand to run, so I'll try to finish the comments here also. There is only one thing I struggle with in Philippines is the water isn't that clean. I use a CPAP sleeping machine and it's always a hassle to clean it. I don't even brush my teeth. Okay, you just use the filtered water. You know, those filtered water, like those containers right there, that purple container right there. Use that, you know, for anything like that. If you're sensitive to like, order a bunch of the drinking water and use that, you know, that filtered water is only 25 pesos, you know, less than 50 US cents. So I use that to brush my teeth. I don't, basically the water from the tap, I just shower with it. That's the only thing I use it. Okay, bye. You can also, I've also known people that get an elaborate filter system for their house. I know Michael, I think from Thriving Expat, he's got a water filtration system that he, if you want to see that on one of his videos. Okay, bye, Fortune. Other than that, I love the Philippines. Get him a Dazzle TV uniform and they will think James is with a big network. Ray, Dazzle will experience culture shock. Oh yeah, yeah, and it's just like I weigh the good and the bad, the pros and the cons, and the pros just outweigh the cons. It'd be a struggle for Dazzle adjusting to life in the U.S. She doesn't have relatives in the U.S. I barely have relatives in the U.S. Now my sister is the main person that I consider family in the U.S. We would have, we would have to start somewhere, with nothing, from scratch. I would have to find a place to live, find a place to work, a car, just so much, so much for us to move to the U.S. And, with what's going on in the U.S., I don't know if it would be healthy for us. I know we're better off here. We decided that together, that we're better off staying here in the Philippines. Virginia, Pinay. I told my friends that I don't want to end up, I can't drive and I can't leave my house. Unlike in the PA, I can take a ride anywhere without the need to drive. Yeah. A lot of public transportation is so easy here. It's like Dazzle goes to Calibo all the time. Mom, Leanne, and them, they'll, when they don't want me to take them, usually I'll take them in the car, drop them off, and they'll, because they don't want me waiting on them when they shop or do things in Calibo. They'll just ride a tricycle back home here. It costs them like, I think, 150 pesos for a private ride from Calibo to our house here. Costs $2.50 on a tricycle for the three of them. So just a lot easier, a lot easier. Good morning, Ray. Ray in the Philippines. Good morning, Ted. Maybe name your bike Elmo. Elmo, GB. What if taking your Filipina to the USA might give her some type of PTSD like Balut did to me? There's just a lot that, it's not, it's not, I know the Filipina more likely, there's Filipina, of course they're going to have that excitement to go to America. Everybody's going to congratulate, everybody's going to be happy for them to go to America. But for us that's been in America, it's not an easy adjustment, for anybody. If you're born and raised in the Philippines, you're an adult when you leave the Philippines. People that go on the fiance visa or marry an American to go to the U.S. And it's quite a, talk about a culture shock going to the, and you would think when you go to the U.S., well, there's a lot of Filipinas, right? They're going, there's a lot of Filipinas. Pinay Heart can tell you this, and the Filipinas in the U.S. is not like the Filipinas in the Philippines. Not all will be helpful. Not, a lot of them, will want to keep you down. That it's unfortunate that happens. But if you're a Filipina, when you go to the U.S., you're gonna struggle with the Filipinas that are already there. It's gonna be hard to meet a good friend that you can trust. You're gonna be, a lot of times you'll be the topic on conversation. The marites, the gossip. You're already leaving all your family members here as a Filipina, and when you land in the U.S., you're thinking, at least there's Filipinas here. I can be friends with them. And a lot of times they end up becoming enemies instead of friends, unfortunately, because there's competition, that keeping up with the Joneses, it's like it's not an easy thing. I know, I've seen it happen, when I was in the U.S. I've had friends in the U.S. and that's why, unfortunately, a lot of them end up getting divorced, because of that culture shock for the Filipina, the changes and stuff. And, here in the Philippines, you don't got to worry about that. Here, it's an easier life. There's no divorce here, it's like, so it's not, you're not going to experience that. In the U.S., so many people just get divorced so fast in the U.S. Don't leave home without medical insurance and several months of emergency funds. Both are, yes, definitely, Daniel, definitely. Pinay Heart, JP, haha, she had to cope up might rather want to go back home. Yeah, there many, right? Many Pinay heart, many Filipinas, when they end up in the US, they get depressed, they miss home. It's like, and then, that becomes not a good dynamic for the couples that are in the US. God bless. Hey, hello, God bless. Yep, my wife lived in the US 14 years. Think she got PTSD. All right. Emilio, you can enjoy life with your fam, with your pension. Here you struggle with, oh, I know. In California, $5,000. That's nothing in California, right, Emilio? Thank you, Gino. Have a wonderful day. Hey, thank you, Pinahard. I'll try to close it. I'm just trying to get through the comments here. Don't open. All right. Far East. Hey, hey, Rick. Hey, see you soon, Rick. See you soon. My brother in Jacksonville, Florida. He'll be here in Atetian. Aim high. See you in a week. See you in a week, brother. See you in a week. In the future, give short class on water safety. All right, I'll think of, I'll add that to the future live stream. Talk about water. Talk about water here in the Philippines. USA brought a lot of blessings, but it never the same life as Philippines, especially the values of the people that I know back home. Yeah, right? It's like, see, I can feel you. I can feel your pain there, Pinay Heart. It's like the people here, man, they're just humble and kind here. Even Filipinas, unfortunately, when they get to the US, they get Americanized. They start buying that, all keeping up with the Joneses, being materialistic. You don't see that kind of, Filipinas here in the province. Said hi, Pinay. Yep, it happens. It became a competition, right? It becomes usually they compare their life. Yep, California is worse. Out of all the places I've been in the U.S., the people in California, everything is based on material things in California. Unfortunately, most. I don't want to generalize, but what I've seen with my eyes in California, even with my own relatives, my own cousins, my own aunties, it became a competition with them on who drives the BMW, who drives a Mercedes, who's got a mansion. And, I prefer the people here, the humble people here in Aklan province. They rate their success based on money. That's why, that's what I've seen. That's what I've observed. Michael, have a good day, Gino and fam. All right, have a good day. Chatting about pray. All right. Pinay, sorry for no worries. I'll try not associate with fellow Pinoy here because I am friends with everyone. I have never been alone. I've never been alone. I never thought I'd rather not. I know, right? Fellow Pinoys in California. I know exactly what you're feeling about that. It's a shame that you have to do that, but you don't know who to trust. Unfortunately, your fellow kababayan, kababayan in the America, they change. Unfortunately, they become Americanized. It's also a culture shock for Americans as well. There is an adjustment period. Friendly people help, from what I gather. Yeah. Oh yeah. If you come here, Lowell, it's going to be a major adjustment for you here. If you come here, you need people here like me, like the Panay Posse. You need somebody, a group here that will help you adjust here. It's hard to do it on your own. I've always said before, if you can get a sponsor here in the Philippines, that's how you want to do it. You don't want to just fly in here to the Philippines and don't know anybody and hope everything works out, man. You're gonna struggle, brother. You need people, man. People will help you here. You have a nice day. All right, thank you. Okay, all right, thank you, Emilio. I refuse to go to California anymore. All right, boy. All right, thank you. I got to the bottom. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless. Have a good day. Take care, everyone.